And so the race continues. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It's game one of the first half between MRC and WEIBO. WEIBO on the survivor side, MRC on the hunter side. Let's see if XC can reap what could be victory for his team by securing a hefty number of points, or maybe it could be WEIBO. We'll just have to find out. But that's going to be a nice start as he manages to find out what are the mechanic dolls. Takes down.
Yeah, XC gives a great spawn there. The over at top broken. Over here on the left side, you did see that he's carrying 3-6, the trump card and detention. Classic for Dream Witches, and this is actually a great start. Just denying the mechanic's doll, and the mechanic really has to kite for her dear life over at bottom broken. So great start for XC. Again, as Grizzly and I mentioned, that the Dream Witch really sees her full potential once she's diminished all the resources of the survivors. And now XC, realizing that he has time to just try to go for other survivors, drops the patroller down for this seer.
Yes, I love how methodical XC is going about this, in which case going to try to make sure that he exhausts every single bit of what WEIBO has in their toolkit. And yeah, not really needing to worry about the mechanic being a threat anytime around with those dolls going down. So this
especially
is...
with the debuff, like once he chairs someone, the mechanic's decoding time does not have any it's quite low, so the doll was a huge factor. And now as you mentioned, great strategy for XC, just trying to just make his presence be felt throughout the red church.
Yes, and this is some very interesting pressure early on. This is what I look for in hunters, not having those dull moments and not even skipping the beat. And I love the timing on that, just as he makes his way over the pallet.
Hue did have the right read there, dropping that pallet, but XC was just really quick on that patroller just to make sure that he gets the ankle of the seer and just uses the owl right away. This is what I'm talking about, Articuno, just exhausting all the resources. After that owl was used, now XC has his first survivor on a chair.
Not a single second wasted, in which case, great pacing coming in from XC so far. Looking at the progress of these survivors, there is already one cipher pop, more than halfway over 3 of them. So I'd still say, regardless of all of this action happening where XC is just so proactive, WEIBO is pretty much on the right track here as well. It is a good steady pace. It's just that we'd love to see them amped up just so that this Dream Witch doesn't become a problem once those numbers might dwindle a little bit later on.
Something to note as well, I believe he changed to blink already, so he's definitely going to go more aggressive, and then he still tunnels to the seer just to pop that tide turner. Again, going to get a little more distance away, especially that forward, just using that football, making sure Tang, again, living up to his the stats there, just trying to kite as much as possible, but then he will be a threat once the seer gets back on that chair.
Yeah, speaking of which, that will be good support happening, as you can see, towards the bottom side. Trying to recuperate as much as he can, get Tang back to fullness. Unfortunately, won't be the case, as a follower would be in the vicinity to cancel that out. But yes, luckily for WEIBO, they still have halfway to go on that, so you're getting that early rescue. So it's still a lot of time that they have to work with.
Now we see that all the presence is being felt, even though we just have 1 leech. 2 already have the anti-curses on deck, and you see that the Gravekeeper already utilized one of his shovel. We still see the mechanic, now a forward, by the way, has the football, eats that hit, and now we see that that Hue is out and about. Let's see how his rebound kite will do.
Yes, WEIBO with some great baton passes so far. And as a result, it's been very steady, I would say. Unfortunately, this is the tricky part when you're dealing with a Dream Witch. You don't really have that strong of a luxury when it comes to healing, especially when you have 2 followers which could be on patrol in the area. Looks like the commitment will come towards Yi. The Dream Witch knows. Wow.
This is what we're talking about with Tang. That forward is always the wild card, just to extend the kite. Tang making sure that he tries to pop that cipher because it's so close to completion. And we see the defense coming out of XC and tries to go for that stun again, but just changes targets and downs Tang.
That is pretty darn good here for XC, in which case, nice balance. I mean, of course, ideal would be to try to get Wei here, but at this point in time, we just really want to maximize whoever is in the immediate vicinity. Wei a little bit farther out, but looks like the chase will continue all the way to the other side of this map.
Yeah, just changing sides from graveyard coast to coast to the other side, going to back broken now over at the shack area. Not really utilizing, not really going for that church area. So quite interesting to see how this Hueyu so far, great rebound kite. Again, it's his last share once he's able to get in there. Blue over at the shack area, probably going to try to go for that heal if he can, or the anti-curse, but then making sure that the area is safe. And look at that, a mechanic using a football just to try to close out the distance to try to save her fellow comrade that is on the chair.
Yeah, and gosh, I love how WEIBO has been making sure to try to stay as on point as possible by keeping all their 4 members up, and it's a good pacing that they're going for. Nice block, and there you go. Ad will just gladly take it to keep his comrades alive, but still the fight goes on. Blink comes in, but ooh, nice dodge.
Yeah, great juke there on the side of the forward. And now we see that the mechanic will have a round on the chair. And like you said, Articuno, it's like it's a game of baton passing musical chairs just to keep them as long as possible, because it's already 6 minutes in the game and the Dream Witch has yet to bring someone back to the manor, because WEIBO is doing a great job prioritizing whose turn is it on the chair while they still try to prime these ciphers, because 2 are almost to completion, 1 already at the 90% mark while the other one is close to popping.
Yeah, Xe trying to account for progress on these ciphers, catching that the one inside the church itself has barely any progress already gives an idea on which ones are of progress for Xe. But there you have it, Tang will be going down. However, Blue is in the vicinity, might actually be going down as this follower is starting to close some distance, already closing in. Nice turnaround coming in from Blue, but won't be something to hit in the end.
Yeah, Tang, though, going to get his last round on that chair. Unfortunately, the Cypher isn't ready yet, so this seems like it was past the halfway mark, and the mechanic was not able to get in time. But look at there's the progress on the Cyphers as well as the presence of the Hunter in terms of leeches. She's trying to close out that distance before Hue can pop that Cypher, and he tries to stop it. And mind you, Articuno, the trump card was already used, so he's not able to utilize Abnormal.
Yes, this is going to be really tricky in this case. Wade is deciding to go for the pop. Everyone is up and healthy, but the blink not wasting any time. Just go straight in, knowing that this is Wade's going to be his last time on the rocket chair. And you know what? The great thing about this is Xe could potentially go for more.
You could, but look at that. Both survivors are working on each exit gate. No leeches on each side, so he's going to have to walk there. And you see that the Gravekeeper is almost primed and ready to open the exit gate. Xe is still going to have to leech, and Blue realizes that, just runs away, as well as the mechanic. We're going to see a tie.
Well played. Coming. And so the race continues. Into the Red Church we go. Once again, it's Day 2, Match 1, Game 1 of the second half here at the Call of Duty PS4 Global Finals. WEIBO now taking the stage as the Hunters, while MC will try their best to seek better points after this round number 1. Where will the odds go? We'll find out as we head on to it.
Despawning at the graveyard, finding Weirdo. And now this is an excellent chase so far for the side of the forward. And now we see that we have confined space as well as trump card. So he really has to put in all the work in early to mid game and not push for that last cipher, because it will be hard for WEIBO's Hunter to really catch up, and is bringing Blink because he really wants to down as much as possible. These are the portals that we were talking about. They're so good in this map and definitely giving an exit strategy for this forward.
Yeah, as a result, D just forced to kind of roll with the punches here, trail out whoever he can, and you know what? This is a great thing for MRC. That was what I was kind of worried about towards the start, whether or not Explorer would be something that would become within range of D, but it's like that won't be the case. But still, early takedown on Weirdo though, that will be something that D would just gladly take.
Yeah, and also getting some presence along the process, not utilizing Blink just yet is definitely a win at the early game for D, but this is a very long game and definitely a lot of just tempos being set for now. So far, the Explorer is running around just to, they don't have to worry about Cypher rushing, and you see that the Mercenary is sneaking around to try to go and save Weirdo.
Yes, this is pretty darn good, in which case we were just trying to read out the map right now, seeing what ciphers are currently being worked on by MRC. But yeah, we are waiting to see if the rescue will come in, as WEIBO is already nearing the halfway mark. So at this point in time, if a rescue should come, it's not gonna...
Wow.
Oof. Pressure.
Yes, Xiao D with the pressure on the chisel. You see that the mercenary is trying to sneak his way to go get Weirdo out of that rocket chair. Again, as you mentioned, the halfway mark is already done. The priestess, I believe, was not able to set out her global portal, so the exit strategy was eliminated. Oh my god, excellent hit there on the forward once the mercenary was trying to go for that save.
Yes, and love this. D just instantly turning over to Weirdo here, knowing very well that this hunter is going to get a guaranteed first survivor back to the manor. So some excellent progress so far. Same goes for MRC, though they have some decent progress on those ciphers, 3 of which are already more than through the halfway mark. First one gets popped, but this is going to be it, folks. MRC will lose out on one of their numbers a little early on, but still, there's a lot to work.
You see that the Explorer down there, lower left side of the screen is digging for those pages, so D cannot rest on his laurels just yet. He did send one survivor back to the manor, but the work has still yet there's a lot of work to be done because that Explorer is still running amok and he can't rely on just seeing 4 ciphers remaining, because Articuno, we can see that these ciphers are being being pushed, and now he's setting his sights on this priestess.
Yes, sir, and the chase just continues, and still a good job here for MRC, in which case this Explorer has practically gone untouched throughout this tournament. Of course, D will just naturally commit towards whichever survivors he's managed to scout out here. Gets a nice vision here over Xiao D, and Xiao D just trying to look around as much terrain as possible to keep D preoccupied.
Ooh, beautiful timing on that blink, was saving it for a slippery target like Xiao D. He realizing that he had to down this priestess and down it now, because 2 ciphers have already been popped. Another 2 are actually like past the 70% mark, and we still see that the Explorer has 100% in with that page, or now already used it up, and now we see some sights on the Explorer.
Yes, just a little bit of a grace onto that Explorer. No real harm done just yet, but of course, what they have to be wary about at this point in time is they have to commit towards making sure that they bolster their numbers. Again, if we were playing towards win conditions, it was a 2-2 earlier, so you want to keep these numbers up still. Or at most probably go for the half, and it's still very looking feasible. Xiao D already more than halfway through on that chair. So
yeah, but you know, you gotta commend D for that really good defense now. I guess that's what the D stands for, because he's able to just keep the mercenary. Found the mercenary already at graveyard. He will have to sprint his way to get to save and try to bolster their numbers, as you mentioned, trying to make his way towards that priestess. Can he make it in time? What an elbow pad! He's gonna go for the save, and he makes it.
Not before he'll take the fall as well, but then again, D is gonna commit towards continuing the chase. I mean, you already have a guaranteed target once you're able to nail down
and 1 cipher remaining. Actually, it's primed and ready. The Explorer, knowing that that's the cipher, gonna chair this mercenary just to make sure that the end game won't be popped. It is now Xiao D that has to try to make the commitment, because the Explorer is all the way over at the graveyard. Makes the pop, so Articuno, they pushed for the end game.
It looks like that will be the case. Question is, what will be the directive for MRC here? Will they try to at least salvage this mercenary, or will they content themselves with just matching up in the 2-2? We'll find out, but it does look like so far that MRC is looking to go the safe route here. No movement from Xiao D just yet, though. Trying to read out what D's response will be in this case. Gonna try to portal all the way around to maybe go for that save. So they're still looking at maybe going for
Chisel on reception. Explorer has to be very careful not to get caught by these statues. And now you see the progress is being done. Xiao D in the area just to make sure he's ready, and the Explorer is getting hit. He's eating all these, and now he gets the global portal in there, so at least the priestess has an exit strategy. But location was sought out, and now the priestess is the one pushing for the exit gate to open.
This is an interesting shift here. D already making the shift, but 2 are already out, and ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it.